So in this video, we're going to be discussing the newest progressive iniquity out of the state of California, and it's called Bill AB 665. Now, what's more surprising is that this bill seems to have slipped right under everyone's radar, but it should honestly scare everyone living in California, Christians and otherwise. It's a bill that literally allows a state to retain control of custody of your child as young as 12 years old for seemingly nothing other than just a child not wanting to follow the rules or guidelines of your home. Don't believe me? Here's Patrick Bet David interviewing an attorney by the name of Aaron Friday explaining the entire thing on Bet David's podcast.
What they're doing, I read everything in California, but let me just talk about one bill that Gavin Newsom did approve because it's the scariest bill I've ever seen. It's AB 665. What this bill does is it's state-sanctioned kidnapping. 12-year-olds. If you're 12 or older, these kids can run away to a state-run facility, residential facility, with no claim of abuse on their parents. For no reason, for any reason, they can run away and they can get housed away from their parents.
Wait, you call it state-sanctioned kidnapping?
Yes, because the state is allowing a 12-year-old for any reason to take off from their family and go live in a residential facility.
Did this approve?
Yes. So Gavin Newsom signed that into law.
Now, as scary as that is, I want you guys to focus on one thing. The language of that law is very clear that you can in no way be negligent or abusive to a child who decides to live in a California state-sanctioned facility, which means that Gavin Newsom feels that it is his right to remove custody of your children for nothing other than to satisfy the disobedience of the child in question. This is a source of empowerment that no child should have if they are not in danger or being mistreated. Children are not allowed to legally do most things under the age of 18 because we established long ago that they weren't mature enough to make certain decisions with any level of maturity. But Gavin Newsom feels that at the ripe old age of 12, they can decide to leave your home to live in one of his facilities because that's the California way.
Your governor, I promise you, whatever challenges come our way, I will always lead the California way.
But make no mistake, this isn't about the safety of the child. It's about iniquity-driven progressive politicians doing everything they can to destroy the basic family unit, to rip apart the nuclear family as it stands. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6 states, "Train children in the way that they should go. When they grow old, they will not depart from it." So it's no wonder that regressive leaders are anxious to get a hold of your children. They know that if they're not living with you, they're not learning godly conservative values, and that is exactly what this law comes down to. And if there's anyone out there that still doubts that this is reality, here's Carl DeMaio, the chairman of Reform California, to go into more detail about what exactly this bill means for parents in California.
And so that was the standard that had to be met in order for a child to be removed. Pretty common sense. That language is all stricken. The only thing that needs to be demonstrated is that in the opinion of the person signing the piece of paper, the child as young as 12 has enough maturity to make their own decisions and live on their own, which, again, give me a break. Children as young as 12 cannot live on their own. The second major change that is very alarming, Jason, is it used to be that a licensed psychotherapist, a licensed counselor, had to be the one making the determination and had to be the one signing off. In an extraordinary move of negligence, this bill, AB 665, says that no longer do you have to be licensed. You can be a trainee or an intern in an organization that has a licensed therapist or psychologist.
Did you guys catch that? You don't even have to have a medical license anymore to approve these cases. In a profession where woke progressivism has spread like the aggressive cancer that it is, you don't think that those poorly educated, indoctrinated trainees are going to do everything in their power to take children out of well-structured homes? Especially the moment that they hear that the parents are Christian or Muslim? 12-year-old kids all over California are going to walk into those buildings and become wards of the state because parents with good common sense won't affirm their gender or use their preferred pronouns. Give me a break. This isn't about the protection of a single child. This is about iniquity working its way into the lives of as many people as possible. And because they can't infringe on your home, they're drafting workaround laws to take your kids by force.
So in the world of trans, it goes something like this. You've got a 7th grader who goes into their school counselor and says, I'm trans and my parents won't support it. Okay, would you like to stay in a residential facility? Would you like to stay away from your bigoted, hateful family? We'll send you to this facility. And off the kid goes.
And you said, let me interrupt you. For people listening, between the lines here, you said, and there does not have to be any record of abuse or something that the child has reported, or maybe got a family member to help report a parent. 0 on record, they can walk in and do this.
0. So this is the blowing up of the family.
And she said it better than I ever could have. This is the blowing up of the family. And she's not wrong. They started this garbage in California, and I promise you other blue states will follow suit. Understand that woke politicians hate the word of God, and they will do anything in their power to circumvent it. From the book of Ephesians chapter 6 verses 1 through 4 states, "Children, obey your parents and the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with the promise, that it may go well with you and that you may live long in the land. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in discipline and instruction of the Lord." This is the very command that progressives want to destroy. They don't want children obeying their parents, especially if those parents are God-fearing people that are going to teach them God's law and not the law of iniquity. Those that are going to grow up and call a sin and never bend the knee to the woke mob. Those who know that there are only 2 genders and that a man can never be a woman and vice versa. Those who will instruct their children that homosexuality is not natural human behavior. Those who will teach their kids to hate the sin and not the sinner. Parents, it's time to wake up and pay attention, because we are going to be judged for the way that we raise our children. We are responsible for their spiritual upbringing. And if that means rubbing a few people the wrong way while we're here on earth, well, so be it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Unfortunately, I remain in YouTube jail, but I know God's plan is perfect, so I will make adjustments and continue to drive on. If you like what you see and you want to support the channel, the links to my Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, and merch store are right there in the description below. As always, guys, be safe, be good, be blessed. I'll see you when I see you. And remember that tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. So don't put off a relationship with Christ. It's better to meet the King before the end than it is to meet him after it's all over. Later, guys.